Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We've got some more squid news to talk about. Atomic Mass Games dropped 3 more pictures, but we got a little bit more than that, so we're going to talk about some cool weaponry that you might equip to your Trident class assault ship due out in June. Also, we did hear from the X-Wing 2nd Edition Discord that this particular points update that's going to be coming out next month will still be hosted on the Fantasy Flight Games website. So if you have ever been to fantasyflightgames.com in search of a points update or other PDF type document, you're still going to be going to the same place for now. That will probably change at some point. Atomic Mass Games is working on an updated website, and that should address all of their Star Wars games as well as potentially any other future projects that they happen to undertake. Maybe we'll get some surprises for that around September when Gen Con kind of has its time frame come in, as long as we're also getting that mini Stravaganza 2 in September. So lots of more news on the horizon, but for now, we're still going to be using the Fantasy Flight Games site for points and all of these cool new upgrades that we're going to take a look at. A big shout out to the sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. If you haven't already, check out luxuryplaystyle.com. You're going to get one of these awesome Crabbok tokens with every $35 or more purchase. These are awesome. You got the 5 on the back. I use these for damage. You can use these for light side, dark side. The lightsabers, by the way, they're lightsaber nunchucks. They're sparkly, right? They're sparkly lightsaber nunchucks. They're beautiful tokens. You're gonna get one for free with any $35 purchase. If you use code CrabbokVIP, that's also gonna save you 15%. We're working on Legion tokens right now that are also gonna be coming out for Star Wars Legion and possibly Star Wars Armada at some point after that. You never know, but like lots of good things ahead. Check out their website. Lots of different games are supported, so these are the best tokens you're ever going to find. They're absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about these upgrades. So first one we're going to talk about is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of heavy firepower, this proton cannon battery. This thing is, I love this artwork, by the way. Whoever painted this, masterfully done. This is absolutely exceptional. Exceptional. Now, again, it is a hard point. So, of course, it's going to say equip this side face up. This is not restricted to a faction. Everybody can take this, right? Obviously, you're going to have cargo space available, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous weapon. Look, I want to put this on my Raider. I feel like a lot of stuff in here I feel like I want to put on an Imperial Raider, right? If you haven't already gotten a Raider, you might want to get one. Hopefully those 2nd edition, the 2.0 Raiders at some point come out. I think just the Raider's the coolest ship in X-Wing, but well, at least one of them. It's really cool, but this looks beautiful. Looks too big for a lot of the ships in here. This looks like something that you want on, a larger capital ship. This is probably a munificent or something like that they're firing out of. This is clearly, not this much space in the Trident class assault ship, but beautiful, beautiful artwork. I want to see this same upgrade card also show up in Star Wars Armada. I think there's, and especially if it's a the bullseye arc is a forward-facing arc. Now, granted, the artwork is not showing a forward-facing ship. This is obviously mounted on the side. This is a broadside setup in this image, but however you want to do it, it works. But I really like the range 4 on it. Very cool range 4 bullseye. It's gonna be tough to get that, right? I'm sorry, no, it's range 2 to 5. It's 4 dice. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. I start talking about Star Wars Armada, and it makes me. It makes me flip-flop the brain circuits. Anyway, 4 dice at range 5. Incredible. Now, you're good luck lining up a range 5 bullseye shot, but it's possible, especially out of that front arc, if you're chasing a slow-moving huge ship, you can make it happen. You can make that happen. Again, like all hard points, it's going to have the damage side on the other side, so the whole there was a lot of people, I think, who forgot, and myself included, when they started doing these spoilers, that that's part of the new 2.0 huge ship game, is that your weapons are going to have the double-sided card thing, because if they can get destroyed, bad things can happen to your weapons. So they can be flipped over and destroyed, and or damaged, and so that's why they say equip this side face up. But this is gonna give you, when you're doing your bonus attack, you can change a hit into a crit, and you can also spend a power to change another hit into a crit. which is like this is the most critically damaging weapon I've ever seen. It's fantastic. And outside, like, the only thing, like, this kind of reminds me a little bit of that B-Wing prototype thing, how that can potentially get a whole lot of crits too. This is like the huge ship version of that Blade Wing prototype title. And this is available for everybody. So I think, you want to put some of these on your Corvette, on your CR90 Corvette, run that Blade Wing prototype, and just have an epic game where you're just doing so many crits, it becomes obscene. That'll be fun. It'll be really fun. We've got Tractor Technicians. I'm not crazy about this particular upgrade card. It's a team. It's not restricted. It doesn't even say huge ship, which I think is extremely telling, right? Because we don't have any non-huge ships that have teams upgrades, right? I mean, maybe you wouldn't have to, right? Like, do you really need it to say huge ship if it's got upgrades that only exist on huge ships? Are we going to start seeing, small and medium and large ships with hardpoint upgrades and things like that? I mean, maybe. And maybe it's just good future proofing too. But I think that represents a really cool path forward for different things that they could do. And that's by putting some of those huge ship only, or those epic upgrade icons on non-epic ships is a possibility. And if so, Tractor Technicians is something that you might be able to do at some point. But still, currently now, this might as well say huge ship only. Then again, it could just simply be a misprint. During the end phase, each other ship at range 0 to 1 cannot remove its tractor tokens. So that's like a blessing and a curse, because you still have that lowered agility, right? You're still you still have the tractor token on you, but that means if you get another tractor token, you can't be moved again. So, like, that's kind of cool. But before a tractored enemy ship at range 0 to 1 reveals its dial, you may spend a power. If you do, the ship executes its maneuver. This activation, it reduces the speed of that maneuver by 1 to a minimum of 1. So if you had a 2K turn, you're going to do a 1K turn. Like it's just, you're getting harder to get away. This is nasty. It reminds me a little bit of some upgrades again from Armada, but you have some tractor beam mechanics in Armada that can work kind of similarly. But this one also can potentially hurt you also, because if somebody tractors your allied ships that are near you, they also cannot remove their tractor tokens. So, I mean, the simple fix for this is just keep other ships away. But, these ships are big. You can't always do that. This one's just weird to me. I think it's going to be helpful with the Trident. You're trying to get people into a certain position so you can hit them with the booty screw. Is that what we're calling it? The booty screw? It's in the rear arc, the big drill, right? The booty screw. You're trying to hit him with the booty screw. And to do that, you got to kind of slow him down, maybe tractor him once, get him into position, keep him from escaping, flip around, and grab on with the tentacles. This thing, there's a lot of jokes that are going to happen when you're playing with this thing. That's for sure. And we have this. This is so awesome. The tracking torpedoes are awesome. Now, this one definitely says huge ship because it's a torpedo. It's like, oh, you better say huge ship for this. 3 charge. It's unique, though, right? It's unique. You can only run 1 tractor torpedo. Otherwise, it'd be like tracking torpedo meta. It'd just be insane. During the system phase, you may spend up to 3 charge to launch. It's not recurring charge, right? To launch that many tracking torpedoes using the 3 bank forward, 4 forward, or 3 other bank templates. Each device must use a separate template, so you can't launch them all on top of each other. Then each device may acquire a lock on an object you have locked, ignoring range restrictions. It may require a lock on an object you have locked. So it's basically you'll drop these torpedoes, and they're going to be slow-moving, heat-seeking torpedoes. Like, I love it. I love it. If you saw this on social media, you may have said, well, that's great, but what do they do? Right? Like, there's no damage here. You're dropping tokens. Well, Fortunately, the fine, kind folks at Atomic Mass Games posted an additional supplement with some information on the tracking torpedoes. It is going to be that long piece of cardboard we saw when we looked at the back of the box when the German leak happened. It is going to count as a remote. There are a few other remotes in the game already, so this isn't super new. It's going to be long, though. It looks kind of like medium base length, but or maybe large. That might be large base length. Yeah, it's twice as long as a one, as a small unit, but the same width. 0 initiative, 3 agility, and 3 hull. So these are actually pretty meaty for a torpedo, right? Like kind of like little TIE fighters. It's gonna be hard to try and kill one of these. Of course, it's gonna be a little bit bigger, so it won't be that hard to bullseye it. Maybe. During the system phase, at this remote initiative, its controlling player relocates this remote forward using the 3 bank, 3 or 4 forward template. So it's going to keep moving using the 3. So it's moving pretty fast, but it can't turn on a dime, right? And we got a little bit more during the activation phase. It's going to have no effect. So it's going to move during the system phase, so when bombs drop, basically. During the engagement phase, at his initiative, if an object on which it has a lock is at range 0 to 1 in the front arc, it's going to detonate. So it wants to, and again, an object, you can target lock a torpedo. You can fire these at a torpedo if you want. During the end phase, if the remote does not have a lock on any object, this remote must acquire a lock on an object in its forward arc at range 1 to 3. And the cool thing about this is if the target that this was on gets destroyed in advance, it's going to find a new target, which means it is possible, however unlikely, that they may find a weakness and exploit it. And Star Wars references aside, your opponent could potentially take these 3 missiles, get them chasing, swing them back around towards your ship, crash into your ship, and die. Right now, all of a sudden, it doesn't have a lock, or maybe remove the lock through some other means. There are other cards out there that can disable a lock, right? And now, all of a sudden, if your ship is the only thing in their front arc, now they have to take a lock on your ship. Which, I mean, granted, you control them, so they must. So obviously, any other torpedo or something you could try and do, but that's fun. And if they're destroyed, you roll an attack die on a hit or a crit result. They're going to also detonate. So even if the opponent tries to shoot them down, there's always a chance that they blow up as a result of being destroyed. So here's the rules, though. Here's what they do, how much damage. They don't do damage directly. When the remote detonates, each ship, remote, and structure at range 0 or in its front arc at range 1 rolls 4 attack dice and suffers a damage for each matching hit and critical result. That's so it can do up to 4 damage. Your agility won't matter. You're not going to be able to dodge the explosion from these things. That's really fun. These are super fun. I love it. I love the way that these are designed to work. I just think this is going to be and because you can launch all 3 at once, and I'm like, you don't even have to though. You can do charge one turn. All right, I'm gonna launch 1 this turn, 1 the next turn, and 1 the turn after that. And just keep going. Maybe you kind of get them flying in a row. They chain each other out a little bit. I don't know. Or you do 2 in 1. You can do a little bit of that. These seem like they're going to be so much fun to get on the table. And it looks like I'm guessing you're going to get 3 tokens, 3 of these. Maybe with an A and B. Like maybe one's red on the other side in case you're playing torpedo boat versus torpedo boat or something like that, which would be kind of cool. But another card was accidentally leaked on Instagram. Was it Instagram? I think it was on Instagram, on social media. So thanks to the X-Wing Discord for this too, with the quick screen grabby hands. So this is probably part of the next preview. So by the time you're watching this card may have already been previewed because they tend to do 3 at a time. This is Scum specific, so there's probably going to be another Scum specific type of preview with presumably this and 2 other cards that are faction locked into the Scum and Villainy faction. This one is using 2 upgrades, Gunner and Team, which is pretty interesting. It's Scum only. It doesn't say huge ship only though, right? So that's interesting. It says, while you perform an attack against a standard ship, you may spend a hit result. If you do, the defender gains a deplete token. Basically, you took some of these pirates, attached them to your cannon, loaded them in there, fired them out. Like, oh, that round was blank, but you've got a pirate knocking at your airlock. You know, and he comes in here and say, and he like, basically you fire it at the weapon, right? You damage their offensive cap. The thematics don't make that much. The idea is that you kind of boarded somebody and they're kind of disrupting your ability to shoot. So that's kind of cool. It's not something that's that great to me. It's good if you weren't going to get damaged through, though, right? Well, because it's while you perform an attack. So, you know, if I only roll 1 die and you're a 3 agility ship or something like that, you know what? No problem. Oh, TIE Interceptor. Let's give you a deplete token. So that much is pretty good. It's gonna work better if you're shooting before them. It's gonna work better against like low initiative, you know, high agility ships, is my guess. You know, a big wing of TIE Interceptors or something like that. That's an idea. So it's all right. It's great if you were gonna miss anyway. You know, or you just force somebody, or maybe highly encourage somebody to do a blue maneuver next turn. All right, so that's everything we got in this particular preview. I'm sure there'll be at least one more before the end of the week, or maybe even during the weekend. They're just dropping all of these in rapid succession. Still time left to enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. We'll be bringing more X-Wing news as it comes next month. June is nearly upon us. We should also be getting that First Order Squadron Pack preview. We got 2 brand new ships in there. Stay tuned for that. More Armada news coming. We got the Recusant coming out, I think, next week. Legion is going to be getting all of its, Kashyyyk wave spoiled over the next couple of months. So we'll stay tuned for that. More battle reports, links in social media. Check out Discord. Check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Patreon, Crabbok.com. We've got a lot of content on Crabbok.com. Check that out. A lot of free expansions for games as well. I want to thank you guys. Big thanks to my patrons. Check out Patreon if you're interested. The patrons are definitely helping support the channel and keeping everything going. So thank you all so much. And as always, have a great day.